Michael Moore needs to go back to working. That's it. It's a short right hand.
你敢相信吗？45岁福尔曼随意2拳就将重量级冠军穆勒 KO 放倒，重登重量级拳坛巅峰，再次夺得 WBA、IBF 双料世界金腰带。众所周知，45岁对于拳击选手已是暮年，无论是体能、速度、抗击打能力都已严重下降。但福大叔自从丛林之战被阿里耗败之后，一直修身养性，沉寂20年之久，在拳击暮年再次出山。虽然没有当年的风采，但他依然有着重回巅峰的梦想。经历一路过关斩将，终于在1994年11月获得挑战拳王穆勒的机会。而刚刚击败霍利菲尔德夺得 WBA、IBF 双料世界冠军的穆勒，正处于巅峰时期，根本没将45岁的福大叔放在眼里。但万万没想到，福尔曼竟然创造了拳坛神话，再次登顶巅峰。那么接下来，让我们一起回到赛场，感受重炮手福尔曼的经典一战。
Foreman managed to get himself in a great shape, as you can see. Now, the interesting thing is, George has been out of the ring for nearly 18 months. The people that make the odds in this casino, year gap, but this, the 30th fight of his return to the ring after 10 years. The shorts, if you're a boxing expert, you probably recognize them. Yes, they are the shorts he wore when he lost to Muhammad Ali, when he lost the World Heavyweight title in 1974 to Muhammad Ali. George Foreman's one right hand around just slipped in there. Moore is so much faster and in theory so much quicker. Big George can sap and drain the strength out of fighters. Moore there getting through with a short left from the outside. George saw it coming and didn't do much to avoid it. When Michael Moore overcame tremendous betting odds and tremendous odds to beat Evander Holyfield and win the WBA and the IBF heavyweight title. It was a close decision. Moore just doing enough to convince the judges that he's watching closely, taking mental notes. There's the bell, or there's the clap for the clappers. 10 seconds, few seconds left here in the opening round. Michael Foreman's made of. Foreman has also found out what Moore is made of. Atlas, an astute judge of boxing, a good reader of fights, as they say in the fight game. And sure enough, that right hand, that was coming across rather ominously. Not quite full force, just a rangefinder. There's Big George's real rangefinder, the big, hefty jab. And that is a hefty, solid jab. Moore needs to use speed. He needs to vary the quality and the range of his shots. And he needs to also keep moving his head and not stand still waiting for Big George to drop that right hand in or bring that right hand up. Moore, he's younger. About a 5-inch, nearly 6-inch reach advantage, and Big George using every single quarter-inch of it. Big George durable, tough and hard, but at the same time, that much older, and therefore possibly that much more vulnerable as the fight progresses. That's the logic, that's the thinking. That is a good jab from Foreman. More landing, more punches perhaps, but George is certainly the more thudding, the more telling, the more powerful, and that means shots like that will not please Atlas. It could lead to disaster later in the fight. Big George seemingly comfortable, happy, taking that straight right hand. I think people expected as the week progressed to see George try and somehow get to Moore's body, slow him down. That's a good right hand, the best punch of the fight so far. Moore took it quite well, but you knew he'd taken a shot, then comes back with his own short right hook over the top of Foreman's fairly low hand. Unusually good exchange this early in a fight. Most people didn't predict the fight to be as sharp and lively as this at the start. It is, it's working, it's opening up nicely. Grand Garden, the IBF and the WBA Heavyweight Championship of the world on the line. Michael Moore in the crunk gold shorts. George Foreman in the shorts he wore that night in Zaire to rumble in the jungle. when he lost his world heavyweight title. He's managed to get back into them. Seems hard to think that George Foreman might just be growing in confidence, seeing as this is his 77th fight, but in this fight he's certainly looking, he's experimenting, and you can see he's looking to unload that right hand. He's looking for the gap, not wasting punches. Moore is staying busy, still somehow being walked onto the right hand. There's one just on the back of the ear behind the guard. Big George circling to his left, hoping that Moore then moves into the path of that big clubbing right hand. Till this point, that's a good right hand. Stopped Moore in his tracks. George looked for it. In fact, George has spent the best part of 2 minutes looking for it. Big George not afraid to take the shot. There's the right hand again, left himself open for the counter. Took the counter on his shoulder. There's the right hand again. That's a good right hook, a southpaw right hook. And George Foreman forced the hole. Press room and in the press, the feeling was that Michael would be too sharp, too fast, too young. And Big George too slow and too big and too old. George will, that's it. It's always the jab with George, it's always the jab. It's a big solid jab and a short right and a fantastic left hook. Just caught the guard hand in front of Moore's face. Moore switching to the body, there's a lot of it. You could close your eyes and still catch part of George's body. He's not bothered. As he says, it's relaxed muscle. Push this enormous man backwards. Push him backwards, make him backtrack and try and catch him as he's going. Good round for Moore, good right hooks, good straightforward left crosses and going for the body. George breathing heavy, suddenly looking every single day of his 45 years. Teddy's happy with that. Be on your terms, not on his terms. You're the young man, you're the champion, you go out, you set the pace. You set the tempo for the fight. The big man can't live with you, as Teddy said there. If he was in camp, he wouldn't have lasted. Real time. Round 4, Joe Cortez skips out of the way. We seldom see Cortez. Not been involved. Moore had a fantastic third round there. Big George will need to establish himself again with the jab at Caesars, just down and across the strip from where we are here tonight. And on that occasion, to him during the 1 minute intervals. It worked. Moore took the decision. Holyfield went on serious injury. Well, the people inside the boxing business not happy with this fight, not happy with the prospect of a young, unbeaten champion taking care of one of the sport's greats from the 70s. Moore looking particularly sharp and comfortable. What's more, Moore is looking comfortable, and that's the key, as Teddy Atlas has said, the Big George. George lost a couple of world title fights since he has come back. Lost on points to Evander Holyfield back in 1991. Morrison here in Vegas. Again, a points decision. Being put under pressure in this fight. Moore determined to stop him, to become the first man to stop him since Muhammad Ali, that hot and monumental night next to the Congo. There's the final 10. There's Howard Lederman's scorecard. Round 5 here, IBF, WBA Heavyweight Championship of the World. George Foreman looking to turn back the clocks. Michael Moore looking to send into retirement George Foreman. Just a bit sharper. George still looks like he has the power though. Still looks like he's their best round so far, best start to a round so far from Foreman. Those big right hands, if they're whacking you around the elbows or the body, that means you're doing nothing. That means he's controlling, that means he's dominating. Big cumbersome left hook, but managed to push Foreman. Foreman knows he needs to keep the pressure on, knows he needs to keep pumping that jab out. He doesn't need Angelo Dundee to tell him that. He knows. He reads a fight, George Foreman, after all these years and all these fights, probably better than any fighter active. Trying a body shot. Joe Cortez finally having to warn somebody. Foreman, don't hit him in the back. It was just a grazing shot. Joe, but thanks for your contribution this evening. That's a sharp jab. That's what Foreman seems to have no reply to, no answer to. If Mora's sticking the jab out and it's 2 jabs and then a fast left cross, George has got no defense against it. Big George seemingly breathing very, very heavy. They're keeping Michael on his back foot. Michael's only effective if he can slip inside and land faster punches, like the jab. It's another Mora round, but Foreman's still there. Still looking to unleash that right hand. Still looking to pull it. I'm going to bring you back to boxing basics. There's some of the replays. Classic Michael Mora countering a slow George Foreman lunge with his own right hand. That's a good shot. George got no reply in the second one just for championship fight. We're in the 6th round. We're closing in on the halfway stage. There are many in the fight business who didn't believe that 45-year-old George Foreman, since 1987, slowly working his way up to title fights, championship fights, and a place back inside the hearts and minds of all sports fans, not just in America, not just in Vegas, but worldwide. That's a short, that means he knows it hurts. Pace just quickened here, or is it just that Foreman suddenly forcing it slightly more, making Mora work more just to try and keep off this giant, this Goliath, this colossus of heavyweight boxing. A man with a foot in several decades. It's the odd seconds tie. Big George, that's a jarring right hand. Mora took it on, it's another right hand and a great comeback jab. And a superb short right uppercut there for Michael Mora, followed by a right hook. But George is coming forward, right cross, left hook. It's the 6th round of the fight that most people didn't expect to go 6 rounds. George over the front foot, going forward, Mora battling desperately to try and push him back. You can't push a bulk like that backwards if he's coming at you throwing punches. The best thing you can do is not get caught. Mora's not doing very well at that. Another jarring right hand. Mora battling back with his own jabs. Foreman another right hand. It's the best round so far. Crushing right hook. 1 or 2 people trying to justify their belief that this fight should never have taken place. But make no mistake, 45-year-old George Foreman is in there training with the IBF and the WBA heavyweight champion of the world. 19 years, he's senior, but still in there throwing punches, still in there contesting it. That was a sense of ice than it is to put it into practice. All very well saying don't stand there, but if that man's coming after you, if he's forcing his bolt right down your throat and throwing punches, he's coming at you. It's not as easy just to walk away. It's not like going for a stroll in the park. When George Foreman chases you down, you know you've got to be good to get out of the way, get out of harm's reach. George, they're chanting. They liked that last round. Not sure if George won the round, but they liked it, the fans liked it. More of strict instructions not to leave himself there after he's thrown shots. Ooh, a crushing shot somewhere to the midsection there from Big George. Everybody saw that coming inside the MGM Grand Garden, except for the man in the ring, Michael Mora. But that right hand still dictating bizarrely the rounds. That's the punch Mora has to avoid. Still sent the sweats flying from his bald head. Mora's jab has been winning the fights for Mora. Both of George's eyes starting to swell. Not closing, but starting to swell. Big George, it's quite simple. Jab, drop the right hand. That's it. 1, 2, bish bosh. Great counter there. Foreman missed with 2. Mora came back with 1. Could have then moved his feet or maybe thrown a second. Didn't he? Left himself there and got caught. It's a great Michael Mora jab. Educated, sensible jab. Manny Stewart worked for years on that inside the cronk. That's the jab. That's the jab that saw him to the light heavyweight championship of the world and saw him seamlessly make the transition from light heavyweight to heavyweight. He's the champion now. The man in the yellow, Mora on his waistband. Mobile, he's heard the clappers. He wants to get to that bell, get 60 seconds break. There's Big George. Big George looked at him. We're round 8. Foreman's trailing, losing but not out of the fight, not getting the beating some people predicted. Use the jab, it's beautiful, Angelo Dundee had said, and so is that right hand. Michael Moorer staggered back. That's the first time Moorer's been forced back, and another right hand. He seems stuck on the ropes there, momentarily stunned, not hurt, but certainly stuck on the ropes. Then called Foreman in, that's a disastrous thing to do. Big George will like that, toe-to-toe, swinging, trading, short distances, as long as he's got a bit of leverage on that big right hand. There it is, touch jab, big right hand, can't miss with it, doesn't like to miss with it. It's energy sapping. There's the right, it's hitting something. That's offense in jabbing quality to the veteran. One of the heavyweight division's modern greats, a living, walking, breathing champion. Two great shots there. Is this the point where Michael Moorer takes over? Is this the point where Michael Moorer... Does Michael Moorer possess the power to hurt him? Yes, he does. Has Foreman got enough left in the tank to survive to the end? 10 of the 8th round. That's busy punches. George hurt, stumbling slightly, made to miss, caught with big shots and seemingly having no reply. Here he comes across. Let's have a look at some of the action. There were big shots, uppercuts, short left crosses. Joe Cortez is concerned. I'm sure one or two other people are concerned. It's the 9th round, but throughout the 8th, my granddaddy, the big daddy of heavyweight boxing, Big George Foreman. And if he's holding Moorer's arms, guess what? Moorer's not hitting him. And in the 8th round, Moorer did hit him a lot. Same shot, right uppercut, then turned into a right hook. George has had no reply to that, no defense against that shot all through the fight. Moorer dominating this fight. Some of the earlier rounds were closer. Some of the earlier rounds, Foreman seemed to be trading on a par, but the last few rounds, just that much faster, Michael Moorer, just that much quicker to the punch and landing the punch, and also looking a lot more hurtful. But that's from the southpaw right hook. Moorer picking, touching. You've got to push him back and try and bring the right hand or the right uppercut across. Bring it across with a bit of power. It's been a fairy tale in many ways. Tonight, though, less a fairy tale, more a nightmare for Big George Foreman. Being picked off, but still there, still landing the right hand, still landing the straight left. Still looking to push Michael Moorer back and vary it from body to head. That's the end. All Moorer has to do is avoid being pushed back and caught with a good left hook to the body there from Foreman. Good jab from Foreman this round. Stiff jab. Michael Moorer told to be fast and not be in range. He's not either of those in range, and he's boxing slow. Teddy Atlas will not be happy at the end of this round. Foreman getting closer, good shot, good left hook, good clubbing left hook. George knows there's just 3 rounds left. He knows he needs something special to change the course of history and become the oldest man to ever win a World Heavyweight Championship. And still remaining powerful, ominously powerful. Good short, big looming left hook there. Those are good left hooks from Foreman. Ooh, he's looking for that big left hook. 3rd or 4th time on the road. Good right hand. Could just be trying to pull the hand away to leave more space for the right hand to go through. That's a simple tactic. Foreman, powerful, big round. Best round so far for George Foreman, I think. Good jabs. Michael Moorer needs to go back to working. That's it! It's a short right hand! There is no way he's getting up from that. And he delivered on it. What a night in Las Vegas. George Foreman is the heavyweight champion of the world again at 45 years of age.